This is my first like podcast interview as like a wrestler.
Welcome to Outside the Ring. I'm here with my guest, Lex the Radical.
What it do? What's good? What's good? What's good, man? Appreciate you having me on, man.
Absolutely, let's go with you, brother.
I'm can't complain, man. Just enjoying life right now, enjoying this journey that I'm on. If you would have told me like a year or two ago that I'd be doing this, I probably would have laughed. I probably wouldn't have believed you. So I'm just grateful for everything that's going on right now, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good to hear, man. Good to hear.
So, what got you into this wrestling journey?
I've always grew up being a fan of wrestling as a kid. My mom would always talk about how I would put on like shows for her and my dad with like my action figures in my room.
Hmm.
So I feel like that's like really where the love for just entertaining people came from. Um, I want to say about 3 years ago now. I had like a real bad like mental health like breakdown.
Hmm.
That I ended up spending some time in a mental rehab facility just to kind of figure out what I wanted to do next with my life.
Hmm.
Um, and I feel like it was kind of one of them things where God was kind of pointing me in this direction. It just took a lot of it took a lot of his guidance in order to get me to a point where I was like really ready to step into this arena. And I just remember one day I was just having a real tough time at my job, just not doing well, and I got a call to from an inquiry that I had made at the time House of Truth, but then it became Grind Time Wrestling. I got a call. Basically the GM asking me like, "Hey, we're about to start training. Do you want to start training with us next week?" And I didn't hesitate. I just said yes because I felt like that was like that moment for me where it was like God was kind of placing it in front of me to like, okay, like if you're ready for this, like it's here for you. And I feel like I jumped at it and I haven't
Hmm.
looked back since.
Who were some of your favorite wrestlers to watch growing up?
Oh, I mean that's tough. It's a lot. If I could say like top five guys that I really like watching coming up, I'd say HBK definitely. Stone Cold, The
What?
Rock. What? Right.
What?
Stone Cold, Triple H, The Rock, and CM Punk. I feel like any of those guys, I just love what they do, not just in the ring, but also on the mic. Um, and I just love how all five of them were able to really like be themselves and not necessarily step into like a real like gimmick per se. They were more so just themselves, just like amplified.
Surprised you say Jeff Hardy, considering you have the ultimate enigma,
Oh, Jeff
Lex the
Hardy,
Radical.
Jeff Hardy, I would probably say is like number six, just because I'm not a big like high flyer risk taker like Jeff Hardy. Like some of that stuff, like
Hmm.
it amazes me that he's still able to like perform at that level even now, like for as long as he's been doing it. So like Jeff Hardy definitely like up there too, with just like my
Hmm.
favorites to watch.
How do you come up with the ultimate enigma, Lex the Radical?
Yeah. So I was kind of like thinking of kind of something that I feel like
Hmm.
describes me not just as a person, but also like as a fighter. And so I was drawn to the word enigma not because of Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
But there was this old clip of the basketball player J.R. Smith where he was like, I am an enigma, and that clip was like playing in my head. So I started doing some research on like, where what that name means and where it comes
Hmm.
from. And there's different definitions. There's like Greek definitions and things like that. Um, but the one that I really drew to was the one where it basically described it as a person that they have the ability to, really bring things up to like the highest of heights and like really build things up in a positive way. Or they also have the ability to just completely just burn stuff to the ground and just completely like just leave it, just kick indoors and just leave everything a mess. And when I think about the type of fighter that I want to be. I kind of want to be able to, I want to be one of those guys that's able to do either or. Like whether
Hmm.
I'm pushed to be a bad guy, or if I'm still walking that straight line as a good guy. I want to be able to be one of those guys that's able to move the needle when it comes to not just a promotion, but like the wrestling industry as a
Right.
whole. So I really felt like that was a good thing to strive for as I'm stepping into this.
Hmm. I see you, Lex the Radical, artist slash producer.
Hmm.
Collaborate more on that.
No, yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. I've been doing music for a long, long time. And I feel like being a music artist has helped me transition into wrestling, just
Hmm.
being comfortable being in front of people, performing in front of people. And it's actually kind of interesting. A lot of the things that a lot of like rappers do, wrestlers have to do too, is just, the ways in the audience that we're communicating to are just a little bit different.
Right. How'd you come up with your name, Lex the Radical?
So I actually came up with that name in high school. I went to an all boys Catholic school in
Hmm.
Detroit called a U of D, and we had a theology class, and my theology teacher at the time, Mrs. Redigan, we were talking about leaders in society and how they were radical for the times that they were living in. So we talked about Martin Luther King, we talked about Malcolm X, we talked about Jesus, and
Hmm.
she was basically painting the picture of like what made them radical. They were saying things, doing things that were against the grain at that time. um, and I was really drawn to that word radical, not necessarily being something cool and like radical dude, but more
Hmm.
so something that was like not afraid, something that was fearless, something that's not afraid to go against the grain and ultimately invoke some kind of change.
Hmm.
Um, so I feel like once I kind of internalized what that meant to me, I just decided like that's what I wanted to be.
Now I want to go back to Saturday, Wintermania Aftermath.
Hmm.
You were facing this monster, Samson. What was going through your mind stepping up to such a big challenge?
You want to be honest, you know, I feel like for some reason I get matched up against these big towers of people for some reason. Samson's not the first big guy I've had to face.
Hmm.
He might be the biggest as far as the tallest person that I've had to face. But in my mind, I just look at it as a challenge. It's always I've always kind of been in a position where I'm not the biggest, I'm not the strongest. Um, and I still got to find a way to get things done. And I know that things on Saturday didn't necessarily happen the way that I wanted them to.
Hmm.
Um, but I also look at it as an opportunity to learn for the future because, I mean, if you ask me, I love another chance to fight Samson. If I get another opportunity, I love another chance to
Hmm.
show that I'm able to go toe to toe with guys like that in the ring. It's just one of those things where you kind of got to feel out who you're going up against, especially when it's your first time. But like I said, I take that as a lesson, and I just save that for the future because I believe in my heart that I will get another chance at him, and I believe that the outcome's gonna be different.
Almost definitely. It's about 619 to his gut.
Yeah, that was fun. That was probably the highlight.
He got you high for that choke slam.
Yeah, I want to say it felt like I was about 12 feet in the air. I mean, that was also probably the tallest, the biggest choke slam that I've taken thus far too. So yeah, not the most fun. But I felt bad for those other guys that came after me because I seen some of the footage of what happened, and I was at least glad that I was able to kind of get up and make my way to the entrance after that choke slam. But
Going back through some footage I seen
mhm.
that you won a number one contendership match, Flophouse. What does that mean to you? And you get to go on.
I mean, honestly, that means a lot. I mean, that was a big moment, not just for me as a wrestler. Like I'm still very much in my rookie year.
Hmm.
So to be able to have a title shot this early on, I feel I'm very grateful for. But it was a big moment for my family and my friends that were there to
Yeah.
see that. one of my brothers that was there when I actually signed up to become a wrestler,
Hmm.
he was there to see me win that match. My girl was there, who we connected, we bonded over wrestling. That was like one of the things that brought us together.
Yeah.
Um, my dad, that's been a huge supporter of mine, um, with everything, not just wrestling, but music. He was there to see that. So as much as it meant to me to be able to win that match and take on three other guys, it was good to be able to do that in front of my family and also in my hometown of Detroit. It was right off of 6 Mile. I'm originally from West 7 Mile, so right around the corner.
Hmm.
So it was a great moment, and I look forward to this challenge that I got coming up in March for that title against Eric Dillinger. He's been all around the world, Ring of Honor. So it's another one of those tests. But I love the challenge. I love the fight, and I just love to push my limits as much as I can.
Now, who is someone that you want to f potentially face?
Someone I would love to face. All right. So I'll say this. I would absolutely love to get a shot at the Soul Taker. I love to get a shot at the Soul Taker.
Ready to
I
get
know.
Chokeslam again?
Listen, I'm not too worried just because I know he's not as tall as Samson. I'm more so worried about the shovel. I've seen him do a lot of damage with that shovel.
Mm,
So I just need to make sure that I stay as clear from that object as possible. Um, but I would love a chance at the Soul Taker.
mhm.
I've seen them put a lot of guys down, but I just feel like I got a lot of heart that I believe in myself. I believe in myself enough to take that chance and to take that opportunity.
What is it like to be able to work with not necessarily vets, but people that have been in business longer than you and be able to learn from them, whether it's in a match, behind the scenes?
Uh, I mean, honestly, it's a blessing, man. Like, especially where wrestling is today. I was just talking to my dad about it today. This is honestly one of the best times in history, really, to be a professional wrestler. Just because there's so many resources out there, there's so many promotions out there with people behind them that have a lot of experience in the ring. Running the business. The
Hmm.
school that I graduated from, Grind Time Wrestling Academy, you know, uh, my trainers, Nick, Randy, uh, have been real instrumental. Even Truth Martini's been real instrumental in just helping me understand, you know, things in the ring and just getting sharp in that area. The COO, the GM Schwartz has been real helpful. Darren McCarty, um, just being able to have access to these people and their information, their knowledge, and even, other wrestlers that, uh they don't have to share their experience with me,
Hmm.
but it means a lot that they're willing to do so just because they want to see me do well and see the business do well. So I'm just grateful for everybody that has been around me, to be able to share their knowledge, share their insight, and just, be a part of my growth and development, in this business.
Now, let's say someone came up to you and said, okay, Lex, you can pick any opponent, whether it's WWE, NA, AEW,
Mhm.
and you can face them in a match. Who would you pick?
Oh, anybody, any promotion.
Yep.
I would probably say if I really got a chance to fight anybody, any promotion, I think I would try my luck. I would try my luck against the best in the world. That's like a fantasy match for me, going up against the best in the world, CM Punk, especially since he's got the world heavyweight strap on him right now. Like, I'm very much a go big or go home mentality kind of guy, and I know it's gonna be tough. But if I got that shot, I'm gonna take that one. I'm gonna take that shot, honestly.
Oh, most definitely. Don't forget, as he always says, it's clobbering time.
Hey, listen, I'm ready for it. I'm gonna
One
tell him to buckle
GTS.
up.
Who was someone that you really enjoyed working against?
Somebody that I really enjoyed working against. That's a great question. Trying to think here. Who do I really enjoy working against? I really enjoyed the match that I had with Roddy Suavino.
Hmm.
That was my first time working with him, and it was actually pretty cool because I want to say a year ago, um, I was actually in the crowd at Winter Mania. I think it was Winter Mania 3. I was sitting in the crowd and I was watching, and that was my first time being at an indie show. And
Hmm.
Roddy was working that night, so I got to see him at my first indie show. So like full circle, like almost a year later, I get to work with him. Um, that was a lot of fun, and I was honestly probably right now, it's one of my more recent matches, but it's probably my favorite match
Hmm.
um that I've had thus far. Him and I gotta say my bro, my homie, Day Day West, just because we trained together, we graduated at
Hmm.
grind time. So if there's anybody that knows what I do well, it's him, and vice versa. So, working with him, I know that that's also going to be another one of those matches where we really get to do something. And we've matched up in the past before, but I
Hmm.
also feel like we've grown a lot since the last time that we faced each other. But right now we're more so looking at what we can do, as a team versus what we can do, against each other one on one.
Oh, and I don't think I've had anybody ever say that an SCW show was their first independent wrestling show.
Yeah, no, most definitely because I mean I've been to WWE shows, I've been
Yeah.
to live events for them, but I've never been to like an indie show like local, one of those type of shows, and I love the vibe, I love the environment, I
Hmm.
love the crowd and just all the wrestlers in the ring, and that was like one of those moments where I was like, I want to be here, I want to be
Hmm.
here, and I really want to contribute to this place if I get an opportunity.
And a little over a year, or a
Yep.
little over a year later.
Yep, yep.
With what you just said, what was it like to be able to work for SCW?
Um, Honestly, it was a little surreal. So, like I said, my first indie show was
Hmm.
Winter Mania 3. I end up getting my official SCW debut at Winter Mania 4. For that Bravo Open challenge that he had at the beginning of Winter Mania.
Yeah.
I was the first guy to step out
I
before
didn't realize that
Dean.
was you.
Yeah, yeah, I was the first guy to step out um before Dean came out. So
Hmm.
and that was just another great experience because I got to work with a vet in Bravo.
Hmm.
And just even in that small amount of time that we got to work, I feel like I learned so much. Um, and just being able to take little moments like that and be able to build off them, I think are really, really special. And like I said, I'm just grateful and just appreciative of just being able to be in this position. But like, you know, I I love being a part of SCW because I'm not just here to, I'm not just here to just do whatever. Like I'm here with a goal in mind. I wanna
Hmm.
I wanna contribute. I wanna be a face of this place, and ultimately I do want to be a champion at SCW.
Hmm.
So as much time and dedication as that takes, I'm down to do that. But this is something that's been in my mind for some time now.
Hmm. Never know. We could see Lex the Radical versus King Coley.
Listen, that's honestly another matchup I love to see, man. Like I love what Coley does. I love how he works in the ring. I think we could really do some special stuff if the moment calls for it.
Now, let everyone know where they can find you on social media.
Yep. So everyone, y'all can find me on social media at Lex The Radical. That's literally my handles for everything. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. Also, you can check out my website, ultimately.com. That's where you'll find more info about me, my music, videos, merch, things like that. Um, yeah, man, I appreciate you, Matt, for having me on here and, getting to talk
Absolutely.
to you.
That being said, so I thank you for your time, brother.
No, appreciate you. Thank you.